since we swapped out the
And we're back. What's up, everybody? Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith. It's dark in here. Turn the lights on. Use the remote for that. There we go. Number 9 will be good. What's up, y'all? Glad to see you back here. Been off for a week. Got my tan on. Got my raccoon eyes from the DR. Hope everybody had a good week. Looks like the charts went up as they always do when I go on vacation. You can lock that in as a guarantee. Isn't that crazy? Nonetheless, we're back. Welcome, everybody, to Charts After Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. It's free. It costs $3 to go hit like. It doesn't do anything but help. Okay? While you're there, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Google tells me that over 60% of you guys who watch aren't subscribed. Why not? It's free. You'll get all the updates automatically. We do the same content always. We don't change much here. We keep it real, or we keep it to ourselves. I had a little glitch right before the stream started. Shout out to China Matt. He says, can Press put in a call to Satoshi?
Wrong.
I don't think he can do that.
Bruh.
Maybe he can put in a call for Argentina. I'm sorry, for Egypt after that debacle that happened in the match. Matt, tell me you saw the interview with the Egyptian coach afterwards. Oh boy, was he fired up. Nonetheless, we'll get into some charts here. Shout out to everybody watching over on Rumble. Appreciate you guys over there. If you're watching over Rumble, go hit like, man. It's free. It costs nothing to hit like. The more you guys hit like over there on Rumble, the more people see it. Let's do this. I just reposted it. Also, you can repost over on Rumble, which is pretty neat. You can repost, put a little comment, come watch live, or hey, check us out, or whatever. That's a growing platform over there. If you don't know about Rumble, you can say anything or do anything you kind of want over there, less as long as it's not child prawn or like I guess you could even do murder videos, which is pretty crazy because they could be considered free content. I don't know. It's wild. Anyway, we like Rumble. It's our alternate platform. If you're over on X, I appreciate you watching. Let's get into some charts. So over the week, like we talked about at the beginning before we said anything else, we had a solid multiple days in a row starting on Wednesday, July 1st. All right, I left town on Friday, which was here. Let me zoom in to this. And sure enough, we threw a hammer candle. Now, I posted it up for everybody to see, even though I wasn't doing much charting while I was out. I tried my best not to overwork and tried to just sit back and be on vacation. But I can't do that. My brain doesn't work that way. It must fiddle. So, of course, I fiddled and I looked at charts when I shouldn't have. But hey, that's the way my stupid ape brain works. So, anyway, we threw a hammer candle and I immediately went, all right. You got a couple odd, wonky days in here where it kind of rocked back and forth. And I'll put the moving averages in there for you. We never crossed the 8 EMA until July 1st, start of the new month. Not only was that the start of the new month, but that was the start of a new quarter. Okay. Not only is that important for us now, but it is important for us in the future because we're about to zoom way out and look at the quarterly charts in a moment. I wanted to start with the daily so we kind of compound from there. Now, after July 1st, one good candle is not good enough. We've talked about that for years. We want two closes over this green line. What is that green line? The green line is the 8 EMA or 8 exponential moving average. It's nothing more than 8 days price added up divided by 8 with a little bit of weight to the openings. I'm sorry, with a little bit more weight added to the closings and a little bit less weight taken away from the openings to help sort of balance the line out a little bit. The 21 EMA is in purple. That's our other important line. From there, your 50, 100, and 200 simple moving averages, which is just the price times 50 days divided by 50. Okay. And that gives us the moving average of the price. As you can see, 50 moving average is about 65,930. That's over here in the margins. Also on the price, 100 moving average price margins, 70,886. And then all the way up here at 74,350 is the 200 moving average. 200 moving average is sort of like a big sticky magnet. When the price hits it, it has a hard time getting away. Once it gets away, it tends to stay away. All right. So look, it hit the price back here on the 200 moving average and it sort of bounced and stuck and didn't want to go away. But once it did, boy, it really left the chat. Okay. Remember that for the future because this will happen again. We'll flip the 200 moving average eventually. And once we flip the 200 moving average, things will start to progress in a positive form. We'll start to move upward and onward, which I think doesn't really happen until October, November. We'll get to that. Nonetheless, we had two closes over the 8 EMA on July 3rd. Not only was that two closes over the 8 EMA, but it was also two closes over the 21 EMA, which is sort of insignificant, but not. You need that move to get over in order for these two lines to cross upward. When the 8 EMA crosses over the 21 EMA and you get two closes over the 8 plus that 821 upward cross, that's a very good positive signal. Now, when we're in a downtrend, I warn you, when we're in a downtrend, which we are, in case you didn't know, step back and look, folks. This is a downtrend. High, low, lower high, lower low. lower high, lower low. Right now, all we are doing is sitting in the midst of making yet another lower high in here somewhere. All right. Don't tell me that can't happen, because if you tell me that can't happen,
Wrong.
I'm going to tell you it can happen. It absolutely can happen. And when it does, I'm going to go and say I told you so, but it won't help anything. It'll just make you feel bad. All right. So let's stay locked on here to what actually can happen. Cue the jazz music. I just play a little bit of subtle jazz music in the background so you don't hear nothing but my annoying voice, because I know I'm not the best thing to listen to. So here is our first low, and then our next low, which was lower, and our third low, which I already have drawn out here, right down here, where I expect the third low to sort of finish out. Have we already finished that third low by just doing it right here? Possibly. I'm fully willing to listen to that and say that very well may be a possibility, but I need you to prove it. And the way we prove that is by breaking that previous low and going a little bit above it. If you can break that previous low, get a little bit above it, and try to break this trend line, well, then that was the last low. If you don't do that, all you're doing is setting up yet another lower high. And don't tell me that can't happen. Like I said, it's happened a lot before. What would be in the way? Well, here are our weekly moving averages. I showed you daily moving averages a moment ago, 821 EMAs, which were the exponential moving averages. Same thing here. There's your 21 and your 8 EMA right there. Okay. I'll take some of these drawings out of the way so it's a little easier to see. I know the charts get a little messy. Talk about this all the time, but use a chart that you don't normally use to draw on. And this is the TradingView platform. If you don't know what TradingView is, it's a free app. That's where I do all my charting at here. I use TradingView because it's the smoothest, cleanest place to chart. It has the best tools that's most easy for you to use when you learn. I've been through multiple platforms. This is the best one I've found. I use multiple platforms, but not for teaching and charting purposes. I use it for trading purposes, for something else. You want to use MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. You want to use Thinkorswim. I get it. This is the simplest, easiest one to use, okay? It's user-friendly, and I like that. So 821 EMA on the weekly are there. They are dead smack in the way. If the price tries to go up, it's got to deal with these moving averages that are slowly sort of sweeping sideways and to the right, right? And downward a little bit here, right? Can't do anything about that. Note where I said the daily 200 moving average, it's a sticky magnet. Look at here. We've spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now working on the 6th week in a row at or on the 200 moving average. First 3 weeks we're above it. Second 3 weeks we are now below it. Obviously you want to be above it, not below it. This is a little tricky because if you look closely, we're technically on the line right now. 62, 830, 863, and we're at 62, 820. I mean, it's margin of error close to being on the line. I need to wait to see this close first. I could understand and hear the argument and say, oh no, it's back over and we're good to go. But I'll warn you first, this already happened back in 2022, which we'll talk about after I get through what we're currently looking at. Even if we hang on to the 200 moving average and we break north, we have to deal with these moving averages. Let's say, for the sake of argument, this thing slowly works its way to the right. As it does that, the 50 weekly moving average will slowly creep down. The 100 moving average will slowly start to creep down. And this 200 moving average is going to sort of flatten out here, right? As all this happens, the price consolidates and pressure starts to build and brings you into a move which we've been waiting for, which I have highlighted in the orange box here. Rebuy this vertical line area here after the bull run is over late 2026. We're dead smack in the middle of 2026 as we speaketh, right? So we've got a little bit more to go, which is why I think we consolidate and or go down with a very small up, just enough up to tease you and make you think something good's going to happen, just in time to pull the rug out from under your feet one more time. While this may be the bottom, it is at least going to give you another opportunity to double bottom. And it's pretty standard procedure, honestly, Double bottoms happen all the time. It sort of back tests support and says, are you sure about that? Before things take off and go. It's happened a lot over history. You can go back and look all through all different charts of all different assets to see that. So there's our first opportunity. Second opportunity comes in either September, October, or November. Right? So there's your September, there's your October, and there's your November. One of those three spots is where we're going to get another chance here. Are we going to get it much lower? Well, we'll have to fail this all-time high support box. Will we get an opportunity higher? Well, you have to break this trend line in red that we simply have not broken. You can understand where I'm coming from when I say, like I have been saying, this is going to be a long, slow bleed. And it has been just that. So many people don't believe me, and that's fine. I don't need you to believe me. I just need you to understand you're wrong. All right? Once you start to understand that you could even possibly be wrong, you can start to find the path to the correct answers. All right? Don't believe me. Do it for yourself. So here's Bitcoin monthly. We closed under that monthly 50 moving average there. But I will admit, she's back over it now. Problem, we have 23 days left in this month. There you can see it went underneath that 50 moving average and then tried to bounce back up here, which is good. It hasn't been under the monthly 50 moving average, since August 2023. All right, and it was only under there for a short period of time before it broke out loose. Looking back, I told you we would look back in a moment. Here is the same situation that we had in 2022. You fell underneath the 50 moving average in June. In July, literally right now, 4 years in the past, you jumped over the 50 moving average only to then fail it again and slowly matriculate back down to where you got a bit of a double bottom, and she finally broke out and ran north, right? That was the bottom area come in through October through December. And from there, off and up, right? Is that going to happen again? Likely. Will it be just like this one? Probably not. If you go back and look at history, you'll see that they're not all exactly the same. They're very similar. They kind of rhyme, but they're not the same. In the event we do get a good monthly move here, you also have the monthly 8 and 21 EMA dead in the way here, right near the trend line, to sort of slow progress up. Now, looking back in history, did that happen back in 2022? Yeah, it did. Look, that was your 821 EMA. It was hammering down very aggressively. And when the monthly finally did try to turn, it smacked that monthly 8 EMA, didn't go easily, bounced back, got trapped in between the 8 EMA and the 50 moving average that you see through there, bounced back and forth before it finally really gave us a good solid pushover. If you go back and watch the old streams from back in 2022, 2023, you'll note where I bought at 19,900. I didn't buy the initial bottom. I wanted some proof here. I'd seen so much downtrend and so much blood that I didn't quite believe we're at a bottom yet. It bounced up and I thought, oh no, I might have missed it. Nope, psych. She came back down and back tested. I didn't get the exact bottom, but I got very, very close. I was able to ride that up, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it multiple times until we got up to the top here. I sold some up here at around 101. I sold the rest at 94 and 96, I believe. And since then, sitting in stables, taking little pot shots here and there where I can, but nothing going crazy here. I'm not buying any more of this until the bull run comes back. And the bull run doesn't come back until that red line right there is broken. Okay, cool. So 3 month, all the way to the quarterly. I told you we got a new quarter every 3 months. Every 3 months, we get a new quarterly candle. Obviously, 4 quarters in a year. This helps us see the big, broad 50-foot view. So 3 red quarters in a row, bang, 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 back to all-time high support. Historically, this has happened before. 3 red quarters in a row before she finally broke out and ran in at the end of the year and in January. No, you actually had 4 quarters in a row red. 1, 2, 3, 4 back in 2022. Right? You did have a bit of a higher spike in price percentage-wise back then than you had this time. But does this mean we get a green month, the green quarter, followed by a red quarter? Fully possible. Like I said, until we break that trend line, I don't believe it. Here's your moving averages. You're currently playing around between the 8 EMA in green and the purple EMA in purple 21 EMA. That area is called the wait a minute zone. So just simply wait a minute. That's 72,654, which is that same area I've highlighted multiple times. All through there is contentious. Until we break out above that, I digress. There's my rundown for Bitcoin. That's how I see it. Could I be wrong? Sure. Been wrong before. What's up, CEO of SpaceX? Good to see you, brother. So let's actually start and chart up some SpaceX stuff. Thank you, Soda. Good to see you, brother. Top you for the repost, my guy. All right, so let's jump over to SpaceX real quick. We'll record this. Top assets, SpaceX. And we shall record. Here is the daily chart on SpaceX. As I've noted, just went through what was what on the AEMA between Bitcoin. Doesn't really matter what chart you're looking at. AEMA is the same across all worlds. AEMA, simple yes, no. Are you over it or under it? You're under it. Okay, so that's an easy, quick. For me, sorry. Bruh. Not worth it right now. Not only that, but you have this parallel channel that you can see here, sort of just chopping sideways parallel channel. You could argue that it fell below it. I'll argue that that's within the margin of errors. You could argue that it made a new low. I'll argue that it made an equal low. And then while it made a short-term low, it made an overall equal low. So much ado about nothing yet. Now, overnight, she went from 149.47 to 150.18, a minimal overnight return. We can do this, though. That's not much else I can do. There's only so many days of data here. But how about this? Let's go to the KuCoin pair on the perpetual contracts. Well, why would I do this? Well, there's more days here. And even though this is not real, it mimics the real thing. Okay, so if they add shares, remove shares, KuCoin will add and remove perpetual lots available to mimic that. So the price is dang near identical, right? If I pull this up, I have an 8 and 21 EMA. And while we did get 2 over the 8 EMA, it immediately rejected and fell back down. You never got your 821 cross. And one could say that you failed a short-term trend line here. Right? Now, let's remove all these trend lines and just look at it for what it is. Just the chart here. The lowest price that this thing has ever closed at on the KuCoin pair, right through here, is about 152. We closed at 150 yesterday. You could argue, yes, that's a new low. How about an overall 50-foot view, right? So here's the very bottom wick, 142, and I believe that to be accurate as we can be anyway. All the way up to the top here at 228, pretty darn accurate, I think. So let's drag these Fibonacci retracement lines on out to the right a little bit. If you don't know what Fibonacci retracement is, I have a whole series on the YouTube channel about Fibonacci retracement. Just jump over and click the main channel name there. And what you'll do is see playlist, and then you'll see beginners playlist, and fire it up and watch about Fibonacci retracement. It shows us mathematical waypoints along the way. Okay, so we're holding on to Sniper's Alley right here. 786, 886. Wonder how we got our 786 name? That's how we got it. Okay, cool. So what does that mean? Well, this is the last opportunity it's got to try to turn around and go back the other way. If it doesn't, it lends us lower. How much lower? Well, a wick chase down to our bottom wick on our perpetual contracts would say somewhere around 142. Falling below that or closing below that leads me to believe that we could be heading to where I thought we were going to go to begin with, the $125 to $100 level. What changes my opinion on that? Well, if it closes a new high, but it hasn't done that yet. It's not even close to doing that yet. In fact, go back to over here to the regular SpaceX pair. You close over 171, then we can talk about going back higher. But it hasn't done that. It's only head faked us and given us very low volume buys with much, much higher, larger sell volume. And what I mean by that is look at the size of the candles. Big red candle, big red candle, big red candle, good size red candle, big red candle, followed by very small greens, very small green. One fair, one small. your sellers are in control here. Buyers were initially in control, right? Couple good solid green candles. It felt good at first. Yeet, right back down you come. That's just the way it goes. You don't have to like it, but it is what it is. All right. So over here on the regular pair, we read 149 to 225. Let's pull some Fibonacci retracement on this just for squirts and giggles. So that lends us to not quite as bad. Now this is in log mode. I'll flip it to linear. 133 to 115 as our levels of potential retracement down. In log mode, in linear mode, that's where it gets a little iffy. Okay. 128 to 102. Further credence, that 1.618 happens a lot. Further credence to say, if she goes lower, that's the level I'm looking for, 102, or I will be buying options. I'm going to take options on this thing, and I'm going to leave them be, if I can, for quite a good while. We'll see. If I have to roll them over, I'll try to roll them over. I'm not sold on my idea on that. Would buying regular shares work out? Probably. But my thought process is take a little bit of my savings that I haven't touched, buy a couple options at $100, a couple calls, and let's see what happens, right? Sometimes you got to roll the dice in life. It may be a situation where this thing doesn't finish going down until the end of summer. I fully expect that. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I just kind of expect it, right? So there's my SpaceX rundown. For now, it's a no and improve to prove it to me. It hasn't done so. When I see it, I'm happy to report it. I don't do any BS, no fluff. I always keep it real with you. Good or bad, I don't care either way. It's all just charts to me. We'll do it again on Thursday. All right, sweet. So how about, let's do the S&P 500 first. All right, here's the S&P 500. While it looks good that it is over the 821 EMA and 50 moving average, problem, you're making lower highs, which is what I just went over on Bitcoin, right? How do you prove it to me? Well, you make a new high at 755. Break 755 by making a new high there. You also cross over the trend line and you show me you got some juice in you. I'm happy that it's still riding this little short-term uptrend here. I appreciate it. But break trend and prove it to me. It's had so much up recently. I think it's due a slowdown. I do. And if that's the case, all this stuff's coming down, including the NASDAQ, which for the first time in a long time has closed under the 50 moving average and broke trend downward. Is the NASDAQ leading the pack here? How about the Dow? Well, the Dow doesn't seem to care two squirts about what everybody else's problems are. She just keeps plugging right along over the 1414 now. Is this going to continue all the way to the 1618? Fully possible. Log linear doesn't matter. She's over the run line. I like it. Now, Tesla, we've got a couple more to get through here. Tesla tried its best to push through the trend line. It didn't make it. She got rejected by that 200 moving average. Told you it was sticky. Look at this thing. Can't get away from the 200. Happens. It needs to sprint away from the 200 in order to actually stretch its legs. So you've seen a lot of other ones that I've charted see, just like the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ that I showed you a moment ago. They've sprinted. This one hasn't sprinted. So the consolidation continues. Here's the weekly look. The weekly 50 moving average is playing hardball. Doesn't want to get loose of it. Looked like it was ready to go, then slowed back down. She continues to play ping pong a little bit, and it's been playing ping pong now for almost 5 months. And you could really go all the way back to September and say it's been playing ping pong since September, so that would be almost 9 months. Killing itself, but part of the game. Here's the monthly. Looking at the monthly, it's not that bad at all, right? You got a lower high, but she's still working on a breakout, still above trend, so you kind of just got to sit back and chill, right? Think some things need to cool down, and this is likely one of them that just need to cool down some. Now, on to the thing that everybody tunes in to see, the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP.
Wrong.
I like that one because it's funny.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's not the greatest asset ever created. It's just another crypto. Grow up. You should know that already. But If you don't know that, it's because you've fallen off in the rabbit hole of, I can't be wrong. It must be right. If all these people are posting it on YouTube, if all these people are putting it on X and Reddit, it must be right. Wrong. So, daily wise, just as I said was going to happen, sideways and down, slowly, sluggishly getting there. It's going to do this for a really long time. You have done nothing short of nothing. You have a short-term downtrend here that it refuses to break. You have a higher long-term downtrend that it refuses to even attempt to break. It was over the 821 EMA. You did have an 821 EMA cross, and then she yeeted right back down the other way. And if it closes here tomorrow, your 821 cross is kaput. All right. Sorry, comrade. That's the way it is. Looking at the weekly, just like Bitcoin, only worse. You are underneath the weekly 200 moving average. I was hoping that this thing would take a stab at going back to the trend line here. It very well may not. We may see a situation where she rocks back and forth and idles and then heads down here sooner than rather than later. I was very, very hopeful that the summer would bring the bottom here for XRP and this thing would sort of drive sideways in through November and December when we get our break. Doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. It could come down here and do the same thing down here. I'd be game for that. But for now, obviously, she's trapped and she can't get loose. Here's a look at the monthly. Underneath the monthly 50 moving average. And you can see the price action a little bit better that I've kind of drawn. Slow sideways zigzags doing absolutely nothing to help you. And I know that sucks to hear, but it's more likely than not. Here's some old buys and sales on the chart. All right, so how about the quarterly chart? As you see, XRP dead on the stick here. Back to previous support. Well, I guess that could happen back to 89 or 90 cents, as I've been warning, around $1. It's not going to get away from $1 easy. It's going to be like this for a while. And even if it does go down a lot, meaning 75 cents, I do think dollar becomes the new mean, meaning the new baseline. And from there, it can make its decision on what it wants to do. The law of diminishing gains will apply to this one as well. You are not special, folks. The law of diminishing gains will apply to this one too. So you've seen Bitcoin make less and less and less gains. You've seen coins like ADA make less and less gains. Link, less and less gains. Ethereum, less and less gains. Binance Coin didn't. Tron didn't. But many have. Once they start falling off, it's very, very, very difficult for them to come back. I know you think that this is the banker's coin and this is the new, brand new digital asset that's going to revolutionize the world, and that, that FLR is going to take us to the future with blockchain, and then there's the Nostro Vostro wallets. How could I forget the Nostro Vostro wallet? He doesn't even know about the Nostro Vostro wallets. Come on, man. Be realistic. It's hard to live in the reality of the real world. I know you think you come over here to the investment world and it's fantasy land and you can make things and manifest things, but crystal people don't win. Ask Spencer Pratt. So I have nothing against Spencer Pratt either. I was pulling for him. Again, a regular dude who just wants things to be better, who pretended to be a bad guy on TV to make money. I get it. He's an actor. But you can tell people's real colors come out when they're upset, right? You can hear how upset he's been. So nonetheless, appreciate you guys watching. That's been a solid 30 plus minutes. It went by really fast, and I was hopeful it wouldn't go by so fast. But boy, this stuff just blurred right through. So I got some of the bits recorded. I'll repost them. I've been posting about SpaceX dang near daily, and I've been trying to do that so everybody can see what I see. So that when I see something good, I can say it. When I see something bad, I can say it. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. We'll be back Thursday, same time, same channel. Me, the charts, and you at home. Appreciate you all. I should be dead or in jail. I'm neither. Make it make sense. I can't. That means I'm here for a purpose. That means make the best of the moment. I'm going to try to make the best of it every time. See you guys on Thursday. Sky's the limit. I'm out. Peace.